What's going on?
And 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my name is Amal, and joining me tonight, I have George, Andy, and Carl. We are the Monday Blues. Truly, this time. Truly the Monday Blues. Coming off the back of a really, really flattening, disappointing loss to the Doggies. The Doggies got up 14-16, 100 to our 12-14, 86 at Marvel Stadium, at a packed Marvel Stadium on Saturday Arvo. And it's been it just really flattening, really flattening. Anyway, before we go around the grounds, we're going to quickly throw it over to George for George.
Lots of shout outs, yes, thank you. As always, big thank you to BluesCrypto.com. Get around BluesCrypto.com if you haven't already done so. It's actually got some really exciting enhancements in recent times. I'm just going to share the most recent AMA link in the chat shortly, but a fan token, Orders the man that runs it, as you can see on screen there, provides an innovative way to connect with your team, of course, the Blue Baggers, whilst also being part of the cryptocurrency market. So you can find more information on bluescrypto.com. I'll share some of the links in the chat as well. Some exciting enhancements, some international expansions for Order, which is really exciting. I think he's got over 650 members in the Telegram now, which is really good. The Web3 marketplace has kicked off. You can actually buy Carlton goods as well on that marketplace using Carlton, the BluesCrypto, using the coin as well. So good on him, and thank you for getting around us, bluescrypto.com. Thanks, Mal.
Oh, good. Mal needs a portrait like Carl's. That white wall is frustrating. It is frustrating. I do have. Well, I don't have anything in the works at the moment, but there will be something hopefully shortly. Maybe after we win a freaking game. How about that?
Good call.
How are we? How was the weekend, gents? Andy?
Yeah, it was all right. Watch my team play fucking atrocious football. It was a tough watch, wasn't it?
Well, it was a tough watch in two ways. Now, we were seated level 1, literally next to what is it? The cheese squad, right behind the goals. When the ball was down near our side, it was great. But half of the time it was down near their end and they were kicking the goals, which was pretty frustrating. So it was hard. It was better off probably staying at home watching it than watching it on the big screen on the other side of the ground. I don't know about how you boys felt about those seats.
I didn't mind the seats. I just hated the game.
Yeah, great seats, shit game. Didn't see much, but didn't really matter.
Shout out to everyone in the chat, by the way. Aiden's hurt his back. So speedy recovery, mate. Hope mum's looking after you.
On your Aiden, hope you get better soon. And maybe just a quick mention, Musa Mission, as Ma has commented there. The man's working nights, he's working hard. I think he's got he hopefully might make a guest appearance. Hopefully, just harass him in the comments. But yeah, the bloke's he's on the clock. So, Aiden. Actually, speaking of the seats, really quickly, a bit of an OH&S issue. I was hoping Mus would jump on to talk about it. You know, we were getting rained on, and the roof was closed. How about the poor guy 2 rows behind us?
That one guy just sat there and just got rained on for 4 quarters.
He was drenched. I go, "What are you doing?" He goes, "He was drenched."
It was torture though, because it was just a drip. Like that's like literally a form of torture where there's just single drips hitting your head. 4 quarters, poor guy.
Which TV Vikings where what's his face gets tortured like that? He gets hung up, and there's just water dripping on him for days and days and days.
It's not bad enough. 4 quarters there to witness. Like you had
to watch that. That was torture enough.
And then he's got this raindrop hitting his head for 4 quarters. Poor guy.
Poor guy. But to answer your question, Amal, I had a decent weekend. Apart from the absolute shit show that was Saturday twilight. What the fuck was that?
Oh, God.
Anyway, Carl, how was your weekend?
I wasn't feeling a little awake. I had a bad
I know you weren't.
What do you do, man? Where do you start? Who do you abuse? Yeah, I guess you just got to move on, but we'll get into it shortly. Georgie,
Mhm.
Yeah, it was a bit of a sour one. I actually raced home, made it just in time for my daughter's birthday. Shout out Grace. But I got there and it was. She's not watching. She's 3. She's asleep. So.
That's what you reckon.
Yeah.
She'll be watching in 10 years, mate, and she'll curse you.
No, I made it just in time. It was. Everyone realised, oh shit, he's flat. He's flat as a tack. But no, it's a house full of Carlton fans, of course, as well. So everyone's pretty flat. But thank you, Mo, in the comments. Appreciate it. But yeah, look, it was. I think it was one of those ones. Me and Carl were just exchanging gifs of, crying. Like it was one of those weekends where I usually I go to a game. Every game I go to when I get home, I usually try and catch the replay. And for a loss, I do usually try as well, just so I can maybe see what I didn't see when I was on the ground. Right? You analyze, you look at things a few different ways. This was hard. This was a hard watch.
It was.
And for so many different reasons. But yeah, all right. We there's a bit to unpack, but yeah, let's do it. Amal, how's your weekend?
I was excited for this game. So, I left home early, got to the game like an hour before. Normally I get there 5 minutes after the first bounce.
Yeah, you got there early as. We'll get into the pictures. This guy was there at midday.
I was about to jump in the shower. Amal's sending me videos of the ground. And all that.
It's like, oh, it's busy already.
Yeah, I had to double check the time.
It was like I got there. I got there 3:15 for a 4:35 game. It was great. Anyway, I went in there talking to some people in the cheer squad, and the overall feel at the game was quite a lot of people were relatively confident about this. We should win. We should win was the overarching theme. We should win. And then obviously the banner came out, and the boys rocked up. We all sat down. There's a leak behind us. Cripps came out with Curnow. I thought that was pretty cool. Cripps coming out with Abu Khadr. That was cute. And then to see one of the Carlton staff transport the precious cargo back was pretty cool too. Whilst Cripps went about his work, it was nice. And then the game just kicked off, and Bulldogs were switched on right from the get-go. Their intensity, their pressure right from the first bounce was crazy. I think, Andy, you said it, and we'll probably start off here. The first quarter, right? They probably should have iced the game in the first quarter. They had six behinds.
7 behinds.
Just before you go to the first quarter, by the way, two things actually. Firstly, I'm going to address it very nice and early. John Holden, thanks for tuning in as always. I can promise you I did not have a drink.
Can I stop you for 1 second? Things were going that bad in the last quarter. I actually turned to George and I said, you might as well have a drink. At this point, you might as well have a drink. Maybe it'll have the reverse effect. He didn't.
To which I absolutely refused. But before we talk about the first quarter, firstly, the bombshell before, which is Trelaw dropping out, right? So I guess the feeling around, I guess the crowd was more optimism. They're decimated in defence. The key position players out in defence. You've got Norton out, and now you've got Trelaw out, leading position getter, leading disposal getter in the AFL. I think he's right up there as well. Yeah. So he everyone was starting to look at what the odds were for 40 plus, right? And that was just the mood, right? So just wanted to put that into perspective for the first quarter as well. The optimism was rife.
And then the shit show began.
Yeah. They were hot in the midfield. They were hot in the forward line. Their defense. Well, we'll talk about defense, but I don't know. Where do you begin? I was so frustrated with what I was watching.
I'll tell you where we begin. I'll tell you where we fucking begin. Bailey Dale was just allowed to do whatever the fuck he wanted for an entire half of footy. Just sweet, bro. He brought his own footy, and Michael Voss was just sitting there like a stunned fucking goat. Like, bro, do something. Put someone on him. What the fuck were we doing? Like, bro, I'm so cut about this because the same thing happened, I think it was last year or the year before with Jack Sinclair, where we just let an opponent literally just do whatever he wanted. And this guy hit the scoreboard as well. Like, we just sat back and watched him. And this is now 2 games in a row where Voss has been totally outcoached. Totally outcoached. Now, I'm not off Voss, so everybody in the fucking comments that's going to come at me, just, I like Voss. We're not sacking Voss. But he needs to be held accountable the same way we hold Charlie accountable and the same way we hold everyone else accountable. How the fuck do you just let Bailey Dale just do whatever he wants? Like, I don't understand the logic.
Yeah.
He killed us. Killed us.
What did you say Voss looked like?
I can't even remember.
Something goat.
I think he was going to say stunned mullet, but then he said goat.
That's how he looked. That was Michael Voss trying to work out what's happening. Like, what was that? What was that? That whole first half, Bailey Dale was literally allowed to do whatever he wanted. He just brought his own footy, went for a stroll, kicked the goal, and we just sat back and admired his work. That's what happened in the first half. They should have killed us. They should have been up by 4 or 5 goals at quarter time. We were nowhere. I'm a big believer in numbers not lying. I'm a big believer in numbers don't lie. But they fucking lied in this game. If you look at the stats, you'd think we had a decent game. We had a shocking game. So, I don't know. And then look at the ladder. The ladder's fucking lying if we're talking about form. Because we're not second. With that performance, we're not a top 2 team. No chance. No chance. Imagine they had Norton. Imagine they had Liam Jones. Imagine they had Treloar. Could have got messy.
I look at the 2 things. One is the opportunity we had for 2 back-to-back big games, being the Giants and the Bulldogs, to really stamp the premiership credentials, or the contenders, right? You're serious. If you're serious about contending, you need to, like where we are right now. Obviously, we're second, but is it a bit of a false economy? So these are the 2 games that we, I don't want to say shit the bed, but realistically speaking, we went in favourites on both, and
shit the bed.
I'll just say the club is finding new ways to let us down, right? Slightly new ways to let us down, because we thought we left a lot of this trauma in the past, and I feel like there's these new ways that they're finding. And again, we are second. Yes, we are second. I don't want to rely on other teams' results. I don't want to end the weekend saying, shit, I hope these guys win so we keep second. You don't want to rely on others, right? And I think, did like a question I have is, did we mess with a winning formula? Did we lose it at the selection? I think we're going to unpack that. There's going to be quite a few things to talk about in terms of the setup, the 2 rucks and whatnot. Did we mess with a winning formula and a winning group? And I think anxiety's back. I'll tell you. I don't think it ever left. It never left. As I said, there was a chance to strengthen our hold on second, and we bottled it. Right, we shit the bed, and now we're back, pretty much amongst the chasing pack, albeit with a slightly higher percentage. But it's just the writing was all on the wall. I think in the first 11 inside 50s, 7 scoring shots. That's massive. Behinds from Bulldogs, but the rate of score, even though it's behinds, was worrying. And as Andy said, I think it was at the end of the first, if they start getting accurate, we're in serious trouble, and that's what ensued.
Yeah. Now, just looking at the ladder, just quickly, we bottled a 2-game cushion. So the opportunity that we had, and this is where it really starts to hurt, is the opportunity for us to start to rest some players, give him some an opportunity to get their bodies back in shape in the run to finals and into finals, is now gone. Because right now Geelong is on 44 points as well. The only reason they didn't jump us after their winning on the weekend is because we have 4% on them. That's it. Brisbane Lions are 2 points behind us. Fremantle is 2 points behind us. Essendon is 2 points behind us. And then you got GWS, Melbourne, and Port Adelaide on 40, a game behind. So whatever positive position we put ourselves in with that 5-game winning streak, we've completely taken ourselves out of that. Now we have to take every game seriously. And yes, you can say that you've got a relatively easy run coming up to finals, but
I don't know anymore.
We don't.
The way that we're playing.
I said this 2 weeks ago, and I was laughed at when I said North isn't an easy beat and West Coast isn't an easy beat over there. They're not. Look what Brisbane just beat West Coast. Brisbane's probably the informed team of the comp right now. and they just beat the Eagles over there. There's no easy game anymore.
No.
Now, like you said, we have to take every game full serious.
We just have to win.
And it's such a shit position we've put ourselves in.
Well, the last 2 weeks, we went up against teams that needed to win and they were hungrier to win, and it showed, right? We went in with a mindset of expecting to win. So that guy, Louis the dog. That's a new one. Shout out, Louis. Thanks for tuning in. Good that.
Louis the dog. Very good.
That's fantastic.
Cheers
But
for the donation as well.
I'll fucking let you headbutt me, bro, after that game. Give me a concussion. Make me forget.
But it was teams that needed to win and wanted to win, and I felt like we expected to win, and it backfired.
That's what we do. That's what we do. Games we're expected to win, we don't.
We struggle.
GWS, by 39 points. No, let's
Carl, I think you said it. Carl, you said it in the Bulldog in the preview. Sorry, a few days ago. You said I don't like the fact that we're strong favourites. You're saying I'm a bit nervous. You're saying it like it's, and then even before the game, with Trelaw out, and you're thinking, okay, we've gone 2 arcs. Are we trying to stretch them? Use the height to their undermanned in defence or whatnot? But they cut us up with pace on the other way. They just wanted it more. Their run was insane. Like we probably don't spend enough time talking about what other teams do right on our reviews, but I'd like to commend the fact that they were great, right? Once they polished up their accuracy, it looked like there was an extra man. They were running everywhere. They were spreading. They were carrying. They absolutely killed us on the turnover. So
they're a quick team, though. Dropping. The drop is dropped from last week, but having Hewitt out and pitting it in is very bad.
Hewitt should never be playing the VFL.
Never.
No.
And Pitternet shouldn't be playing unless TDK is injured.
Let's maybe talk about Hewitt first, because that was a big one in all the club socials, the club, a lot of the fans are talking about that. I'm proud that he absolutely prove us wrong in the VFL. It's a VFL game, but he absolutely put his hand up once again to be recalled. He wasn't doing anything wrong when he got dropped, right?
Exactly.
And I feel like we were talking about midfield mix. What was working in that 5 or 6 week period was your Cripps, your Kennedy, your Hewitt, your Walsh. Obviously, Chera was out. And then Elijah would come and do a lot of that hard work. Fogg would rotate into a lot of that hard work. If Hewitt's dropped and then you've dropped Kennedy to a sub, you've gone from 3 contested beasts to 1, right? And that's, for me, that was a bit of an indictment. And going back to your comment about Voss, Andy, before, for me and Voss and the match Henry, I'm not just pinning on a Voss. I feel like there's been a lot of games and a lot of moments where the stars have, I guess, carried us over the line, maybe a little bit over coaching talent and strategy and whatnot. But I think the last 2 weeks and now what's coming up ahead is another huge test for Voss to actually show, no, I've got to get it right. I've got to get it right at selection. I've got to get it right with my mix. With, I don't know if he's got favourites or whatnot, but I've got to get it right. So this is a test for him.
Well, Carl, I'll throw this question to you. Do you think we got the midfield mix right?
No, definitely not.
So who would you bring in? So
Well,
we had Cripps, we had Chera, we had Walsh, we had Cottrell, Kennedy. Am I missing anyone? And Hollins and Akers. Akers felt like he was in the back line the whole night as well. I don't know if you guys picked that up or not, but he spent more time in the back line because of how much the ball was there than he did on the wing, like Hollins and stuff. But anyway,
Akers is our best defensive runner.
Yeah. But Carl, who would you bring in?
Well, if you ask me,
what would you want your midfield mix to be?
If you ask me who's the biggest ball we've got in the midfield to win you the ball, you obviously say Cripps. And then second, I put Hewitt. I put Hewitt in front of Walsh, in front of Kennedy, in front of Holland. He's that guy that's going to win you the ball.
The extractor.
And then you go, you go drop him. You're leaving it all for Cripps. Like, come on, man. And then, like George said, it's not like he was playing bad footy, poor footy. He was racking up over 20 touches every game. And he gets you the ball and he feeds you the ball. When the balls are like this, it's scrummed up. Who's at the bottom of the pack? It's either Cripps or Hewitt.
Yeah.
So dropping him is massive. So it's obviously Hewitt, your Cripps, your Walsh. They're your 3. And then you're rotating with Chera and that. But they're your 3. You need Walsh to be that outside runner. And Pitternet is a no-no. Like, yeah, great for tap, but he's slow. He can't mark. Having TDK is like an extra mid as well. He gets down, he picks up the ball, he'll bomb it forward. So we looked slow all over the whole from the start. Like you said, from the start to the end, they just dominated us.
Yeah.
Cottrell should have gone straight to the VFL.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Docs.
JJ comments, thanks for the $2 donation. Heard Doc's a chance for September. Does he come in? Changes of this magnitude.
Can I answer that quickly? Can I just say something?
Go.
How about we get to September 1st, then we're a bit worried about Doc.
This is what the club does. Great call, Carl. This is what the club does after every bad loss. They come out with either a signing or a feel-good story like this. Bro, Doherty shouldn't play. He shouldn't just come in and play, right? Like, if we actually give a fuck about this bloke, he shouldn't be coming in and like taking someone's spot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's going to come in, he'll be underdone, he'll be all that. This is just the club gaslighting us, which is what they do after every bad loss. It's just what they do. Happy story. That's all they do.
To make you forget about the Doggies a bit.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Just, let's just feed them this little carrot. Nah, bro, we're done. I think as a fan base, we should be done with that like shit. And when the club pulls up a shit performance like that, we got to hold them accountable. So,
yeah. There's two comments. Sorry, Georgie. There's two comments I want to highlight just on the midfield mix, right? So the first one is not that one. It's from Ma. Chera underdone and an outside player. And the second one is from Husnu. Our midfield looks better with Cripper, Hewitt, Walsh, and Kennedy. That's the midfield that won us the last 5 games. Outside of the last 2, that midfield looked incredibly strong. It from a clearance perspective and a stoppage perspective, I thought we looked A1. And then even the other goal scoring avenue, which was turnovers, was still there as well. We were scoring from stoppages and we were scoring from turnovers. All of a sudden, we've gone from Cripper, Hewitt, Walsh, and Kennedy to Cripper, Walsh, Kennedy, Chera. We've taken away that one extra extractor, which is Hewitt. And all of a sudden, have you guys, I might have just picked this up myself, but do you guys feel like Cripper again over the last 2 weeks has tried to put the team on his shoulders to get them over the line?
Yep.
Do we want to be doing that every single game up until
Nope.
No, we don't want to. You don't want to do that.
We're not that club anymore.
I don't think Chera's the problem. I don't think Chera. I think Chera has to be in your team. I think Chera's in our best, 6 or 7 players.
He's got to get his game time going. So you got to leave him in there.
So Chera's the one that, like, all right, but Cottrell shouldn't be getting a game. He's clearly not right. He's had 10 touches in 2 weeks. So, all right, we've got an issue with Cottrell. Holland's had a decent game. I think he actually had a decent game, but fuck, some of his moments, man. It just, bro, just get rid of the ball. Just move the ball.
Get rid of the ball.
Yeah. Ollie Holland.
The speed of disposal, but also I think his vision or his awareness, and I think that will come. That will come with time, right? But
it will.
His vision and his awareness, because sometimes when he's disposing of it, it's like it's in slow motion. Almost reminds me a bit of like Ryan Houlihan back in the day, where it just looked like time would stop when he's got the ball. But unfortunately for Ollie, they're on his ass like as soon as he's got it, right? Quickly going back to Cotters, I know we've got a heap to go through tonight. Going back to Cotters. There's an argument that you could say he's probably been, unfortunately, worst on ground 2 weeks in a row.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to pit on the bloke, but he's come. I feel like he's been rushed back. Right? Why is he an automatic selection?
Mm-hmm.
Hewitt's made way. I think that's why I feel like I said it earlier. Have we fucked around with a successful mix with a winning formula, and him just being rushed back? And I'm not coinciding the losses just because of Cotters, right? But I'm just saying he's come in. Obviously, if he's named, he's fit. He's going to get you 15 Ks or whatever. But it was a bad foot injury from memory, metatarsal or something like that. Yeah. So he's come back and he's either underdone or I don't know what it is. But he's been arguably worse on ground 2 weeks in a row. So this week, do you persist or do you make a change? I think you got to make a change after this week, right? Like you've given him a couple of weeks back. You probably realised that, hey, we might have jumped the gun. Surely. You got to make a call. I think there will have to be sort of heads rolling at selection this Thursday for North. Whether it be Ollie, whether it be Cotters. That famous term, Naz, selection integrity.
It has to be questioned. Selection integrity has to be questioned. Another thing that I think has to be questioned is, get ready for this chat, Charlie Curnow's performance on the weekend as well.
You tell me your thoughts. This is a contentious one.
Yeah, because I'm on the fence with this one.
Coleman boy.
Let's talk about it a lot.
Charlie, I'm going to start with this. Charlie is talented. Charlie has X factor. Charlie is athletic. Charlie is one of the best players in the league at the moment. However, Charlie kicking 3-7 is not good enough for anyone's standards in the AFL. And secondly, I think he burnt a couple of our players a few times. A few times. I feel like the idea of a third Coleman, back-to-back-to-back Coleman, which I don't know if it has it ever been done before, back-to-back-to-back?
Gary Ablett.
Yeah.
I think the idea of a triple Coleman back-to-back-to-back is starting to get to his head a bit.
100% it is.
It's showing in the style of his play. That on the side that we were sitting, there was one time where he was literally 60 meters out. Cripps was running in like a steam train. No one on him, nothing. And he's gone for goal and he's missed it. He could have easily kicked it to Cripps. He's done it.
But forget the Cripps. Like, he had two players running past him that exact same play. Running past two players by himself.
Yeah.
Handball to them and they can go in, set shot. Whatever it was. But no.
Yeah.
See, I'm in the middle with Charlie's game this week. I wanted him to show effort and show desire, and he did. Absolutely. He had 10 scoring shots, right?
10 scoring shots, yeah.
So, sweet. He probably should have had 7 scoring shots. I think he got carried away, and I think he did see, Coleman again. I think he's almost like believing his own hype. And the hype's justified, right? The hype is justified, I feel like. Yeah. But I think he needs to be just pull back a peg. Just because, bro, you're burning teammates. Once you start burning teammates and you're not kicking those goals, you do it once a game, all right, cool. But he did it 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
That's unforgivable for me. So, yeah, look, it's a tough one, man. With Charlie.
You know what, Pat?
Yeah.
With that, I don't mind if you're up by 5-6 goals or it's the first minute or 2 of the game. But when you're losing, you're down, pull your fucking head in. Pass the ball. It's not about you. It's about the team.
Good
so,
and there was a bad one that he missed, like right at the mouth of goal as well on the other side. Fuck.
That's how you know it's dog of a day. It's not your day, right?
It's just not your day. It's a dog of a day.
I'm on the fence, but leaning towards. If you look at stats can lie a little bit, but if you said he's taken 10 marks, 15 disposals, and kicked 3 goals, which is what he had, you'd be like, that sounds like a pretty good game, right? You don't factor in the 7 behinds. Besides that actually sounds like a good stat line for a good game. And it was a very weird, deceiving game from Curnow and Mackay. We'll probably talk about Mackay in a bit because Mackay had 1 kick after half-time, but up until half-time, he was fantastic. He kicked 3 goals.
He was almost best on ground for me, yeah.
3 goals, 2, took clunks everywhere. He was in the thick of everything. And then he had 1 kick, I think, in the third, and he had nothing in the fourth, right? So Curnow, for me, you had 10 cracks at goal, but yes, agreed. 2 or 3 of those, you probably could have done the percentage thing and go to a teammate. But he was as the game wore on, he was getting more of it. So I backed him in last week to have a big one. He could have had a massive one.
Almost.
He had the there was some very gettable shots, some very, very gettable shots there. I'm not talking about the wheel and goes from 60, but I'm talking about the couple set shots, the snap, where I jinxed him. I'm like, he's automatic from here. I think he missed. And do you remember that one?
No, I do remember that one.
Quickly, John Holden's comments killed me, and I have to share it. God, it says pics of Ash Hansen with a jar of peanut butter and a cat. I love our chat so much. This is fantastic. It was really, yeah. It was an interesting one. It was
Charlie needs to get his game right, man. You know, and I'm hoping we play North this week, and you know, I'm hoping he gets some kind of form, good form. I mean, look, he kicked 3. You know, I don't know. I'm the whole Charlie thing for me is it's a weird one. It's an ugly one.
It's unsettling.
If he doesn't fire, we're fucked in finals. Like, we're gonna be gone in final. Good teams are gonna like double team him. The same thing they did last year.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't have a good final series again, question marks are gonna be like raised, like heavy question marks though. We know he's a good player, but he's just gonna stay a good player with a couple of individual awards. He won't be considered a great player. The greats are good in finals. The greats are remembered for their finals feats, not for going missing in finals.
And he'll have that cloud over his head because of last year's final campaign as well.
Yeah.
Um,
I saw a name in the chat. Caleb Marchbank. It's like he's got cement in his boots.
Not AFL standard.
what do we
Not
say?
AFL standard.
I think he came in and he had a couple of good games. I think he was great against Brisbane, the prelim. He was great against Sydney, but I think, unfortunately for him, and we'll see in the coming weeks as well, but I think, unfortunately for him, his papers are probably stamped. Now, I only say that because the bloke's had a horrid run with injuries, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's had an ACL. He's had long-term neck and back issues, right? So his body has been battered, right? He's managed 63 games. This is his 10th season. 63 games. You're in your 10th season now. You're averaging just over 6 games a year. And ACL and the neck and back, like this is debilitating injuries, right? And he's missing very large chunks of footy. And he's like, he just looked out of it. I don't know. It was direction or sense of timing or whatnot. Like, again, he's coming in for first game in quite a while, but I personally, we might see him for a couple of weeks. Obviously, whilst Gov is out, he gets his last crack at it. But I think that for me, his papers are probably stamped. I don't think the club will persist with. I'm not talking about the game in isolation. I'm talking about overall body taking a risk. Long term, are you going to sign him for another year, knowing that he's averaging 6 games a season?
It just doesn't seem worth it. And probably another one that's in the same boat is Jack Martin. Did he play VFL on the weekend?
Yeah, he did. He did.
How did he go?
How does Jack Martin? So Jack Martin plays in the VFL, but Cottrell straight back in.
Yeah,
We're screaming for a Jack Martin, and
Literally.
Cottrell just comes in. We've got great wingers already, like decent, you know. And I thought Cotters comes in, Ollie Hollands maybe gets a rest, but
Oh, no.
Fuck.
I don't. Never heard him speak. I must admit, but I
tell you what, Charlie Curnow must have been the one aiming at Donald Trump because
there was a few memes going around about that. It was brilliant.
Yeah,
I
think with Archie, you're probably going to see, that he's like this is his crack, right? Like he's going to have a few games, and then the club's going to have to make a call. I hope you saw the talent, you see what he can do. I weirdly trust him more than I recently trust Lewis Young, but at the same time, like he looked miles off, right? And again, maybe it's just first game back or whatnot, but there was more confidence I had in Nigel Thornberry, Sam Durden, when he came in for that one game against the Tigers. I just felt like
I don't understand why he's not getting the game.
I felt more. I don't know. He was having a
good.
red hot crack. He was, yeah. Just give him a crack, right? What are you losing?
He was there as an emergency. He was on the ground when the players were warming up, but obviously didn't get the call up. I'd anyone over Marchbank at this point. He's slow. His reaction time is delayed. He's playing on 300 ping, 400 ping minimum. It's,
I saw a comment here from Ramsey. He just said, "I don't blame the defense. It was under siege. Our midfield let us down." So I somewhat agree because we know our midfielders aren't two-way runners, right? We know this. We got absolutely decimated at stoppage again in our defensive 50. Jacob Wiedering, we all love the bloke, can't man up at a stoppage for shit. Adam Saad made some of the worst decisions I've ever seen a footballer make on the field. Bro, there was a couple times he just let Cody Waitman just do whatever he wanted in at a stoppage. Like, bro, stay on him. And we just kept getting scored against in the same way. And we lost to Adelaide. The same. Adelaide scored heavily against us like that. GWS scored heavily like that against us. There was a couple other games I can't think off the top of my head. When we lose, it's a lot of the times we're conceding so easily from stoppages. And it's the same perpetrators on our list that are doing it. Like, I don't know what Saad's thinking, just letting his opponent go. What's he? And he's not even like, he's not like lining up on someone that's loose. No, he'll stand next to someone that's already got a player next to him. And I noticed this on the replay. He done it maybe 2 or 3 times. It wasn't not good viewing at all for Adam at all.
So much of the defense had really down days. Like Boyd Newman had unusually bad games as well. Like
Boyd couldn't hit a target.
Not
that's very bad.
Very unlike him from our best kicker. Can I just say on side, my favorite moment? I wish Moss was here to say this, but Moss was just when he said something about a Manouche and Saad, right? And then Andy's like, mate, is that the best you can do, right? He was just having a bit of banter with Saad because we were literally like 20 meters away.
That was before the game, I think.
That was
during
first quarter.
Was it?
No, it wasn't first quarter. It was second
Before
quarter.
the game, was it?
No, it was the second quarter, and then Andy's like, Bisalim, let's say hi to him in Arabic, right? And then just shouted out really loudly a formal greeting in Arabic to Saad. And what killed me, right? There's obviously a few Lebanese people behind us having a giggle, but the lady in front of us, she was lovely, right? Her and her kids. Her son was absolutely.
How funny was
He
it?
was on fire. Yeah, he was great.
2, 4, 6, 8, you can't kick straight.
I love it. They're passionate.
Every time in the day, they kick the goal.
Yeah, I swear to God.
He's going to be an absolute stirrer when he grows up. I love it. But the mum turns around. She was so cute. She's like, so what does that mean? All right. And then we're like, he's literally just saying hello to him in a very formal way. She thought we were swearing at him in Arabic. But
then she got up and left because she got scared.
just a quick shout out to Rash. Rash in the chat.
Yes.
Rash has a brilliant show on the Jumper Punch channel called The Change Room. Mate, brilliant show. Get onto it. Rash, thanks for tuning
Thursday
in.
nights?
As always. I think they've changed it to Thursday nights now. Yeah.
Yep. On your Rash.
So, good stuff.
Do you know who we really missed against the Doggies? Mitch McGovern.
I miss Moose, man.
Who's that? Guy make a special appearance once every 3 weeks.
Every win.
Mitch McGovern.
Hey, we've lost, and he doesn't turn up for the losses, Moose.
Never.
Probably crying. Yeah, Mitch McGovern. We missed him.
I said that a few weeks ago. I said this guy, he's critical to us winning. He actually is. And when he's not in, man, we get Marchbank.
Yeah, that's right. You get speed, then you get a turtle.
What I like the most about McGovern is how quickly he can turn it to offense. So whenever he marks it, he's a great mark. Plunks it. He knows where to position himself, and then bang. There's no waiting with Marchbank. He just goes with McGovern. He just goes. He just goes.
Very aggressive. Good call.
Very
aggressive. Yeah.
Very aggressive. And you're right, Carl. 100% right. No one else does it. Maybe Boyd. Sometimes, but Boyd has been a bit on the.
That was his worst game. That was the worst game I've seen him play for us.
Yeah.
And you know what? I hope he doesn't get dropped for it. I feel like Voss is going to drop him. I don't know. Something's telling me that Voss is going to pull this move, and he's going to punish Boyd for it. I don't know, man. I hope not.
I just shit myself. I was like, what the fuck is that on my screen?
Look like Curnow lining up.
Yeah, and I don't even want to talk about who you bring in for it, but you don't want to be. You don't want to, like, he had one really off game. Like he's like, maybe it was against his old side. He forgot the colours. He forgot who he's playing for. But no, he was so off with his target and decision making. Where usually he's the Mr. Reliable. But even Newman, right?
How bad was it with us trying to get it out of our backline? How many times did we go sideways?
It was like last year all over again. Remember when they kick around the fence and then just have a crack, roll the dice.
Henny's been doing my head in, mate. Henny's on punishment. She's been waking me up at sunrise every day.
Grounded.
Doing my head in.
Both PJ and John Holden. Boyd got an injury early, apparently. Okay.
Yeah, I think he went down the race. He went down the rooms and came back.
Speaking of going down to the rooms, Zach Williams.
This is going to hurt us. Look, I know we've got Motlop and Martin on the wings, and they'll probably come in. There's a very, very good chance that they'll come in this week. But I think Williams has been instrumental in the forward line. I think he's been brilliant.
You know what? He probably does.
That's fantastic.
I had to sneak that one in. That was great.
Martin and Motlop will likely come in, but I think we're going to miss Williams in the forward line. That kick that he did in the first quarter to Owies was precision. Who else in the forward line can do that? Obviously, aside from Curnow, who can do it from 75 meters out, but that was a beautiful kick. And I think we're going to miss Williams. I hope it's not a long injury. Has there been any updates on Williams' injury? For those watching along, let us know if you have heard anything.
Was it a hammy?
It was a hammy, yeah.
Hammy.
Yeah,
probably 3-4 weeks.
I don't think they said it was tightness. They said it was hamstring tightness. This was on the day. I don't know if there's been an update since. The club doesn't really they'll say 1 to 2 weeks. Then you won't see him for another 3 months. But
tomorrow, the injury report comes out tomorrow.
Yeah,
I think tomorrow, so we'll have a gaze. But yeah, his form line's been really good in the forward line. So you'd hope that it's not much. If it's just tightness, then
guys, please hit the like button as well. There's 80 something of yous, and we're like fuck all likes. So
yeah,
there's only 18. Get that up.
If they said tightness, then hit the like button.
How disappointing was the game? And I don't want to make it about Cripps, even though it was. But how disappointing was it that the boys put up that kind of showing for a man that's done so much for the club?
Yeah. Ultimately, I think that's probably the most disappointing thing because we still hung on to second spot, just because of some results of other games. The most disappointing thing is that was Cripps' 200th. We had a great opportunity to get the win for him. And it just felt like no one showed up.
We probably had a handful of players that probably had a decent game. The rest were trash.
Yeah. I mean, if we want to look at who was good, aside from Cripps had a great game again. Who played well? First half, Harry. First half, Owies.
See, I think Wiedering done shocking in the second half. I think he got absolutely demolished in the second half.
The same story with Mackay. Mackay had a great first half, fell off a cliff in the second. Owies had, and we joked about this a few weeks ago, that he plays 1 quarter a game and he has his moments, but he's a reliable goal kicker. And then we spoke of that, he needs to play a full game because he's not suited for sub. But then he goes and puts a fantastic first quarter in the books. Almost kicked a fantastic goal. The dribbler would have been his third, I think.
Oh, that would have been
hit the post.
And then he's gone missing. He's absolutely gone missing. So we had a few that done the job early. But yeah, I think as a group, and you could almost see him trying to sort of galvanise them in the fourth and get him on his back. And he was doing everything. It looked like it was just going to be one off his boot if it was going to be the case, right? But I think as a group. The midfield, like I said it in the preview, I want to see the midfield give him a chop out and really do a lot of the hard work 2 ways to enable him to, break free from packs or, them get the hard ball. But they were all over us. And at the same time, when you're like, again, I don't want to pin it on Charlie's kicking, but a few of those turn our way. If he kicks 5 or 6, all of a sudden the scoreline's different. But
It's a different story, yeah.
But they were at critical points. The misses were at critical points of the game, right? And they punished us every single time. Not only the points, they punished
Georgie
us.
called that out to me during the game. Good call, Georgie.
The set shot, the relatively straightforward set shot, they went back the other way, scored 1 or 2 goals. Then there was the snap. They went back the other way and scored. And then not only were they punishing the behinds, every time we scored, every time we actually scored a goal, they went back, center clearance.
10 seconds.
Bang.
Instant.
Riley West. Bang.
That
Walk through.
That burnt me.
Who
That
the
one.
fuck is Riley West to kick 4 goals? What the fuck is that?
His old man's pretty good.
His old man
was a star.
Yeah.
This bloke trying to grow a mustache, kicking 4 goals on us. That was disgusting.
We have this habit of working so hard to get a goal and then just giving one up. And then don't forget, the Carlton special, giving a goal in the last minute of the quarter. We do that twice a game, I feel. I honestly, I feel like we do it at least twice a game, where we just concede in the last minute of a quarter.
Yep, it's time, boys.
Just cooks me, man. There's a lot to think about. And we could come out, right, potentially, and win by 10 goals on the weekend.
But that meant shit.
That's exactly right. Like, we've got ourselves in a position now where we need to work so hard just to maintain our position now in the 4. You don't want to finish outside top 4, and you don't want to finish 4th, right? The way Brisbane's going, they probably finish second, potentially. So do you really want to finish 3rd either and have to go up to the Gabba? I'm not scared of playing any team at our best. I am fucking petrified of playing anyone at our 10% off. Anyone can beat us if we're 10% off, because our worst is horrible. But at our best, there's not a team in the league that can beat us. I don't care. Any ground. But do you trust them? I feel like we've lost trust in the team again. I have, anyway.
Fucking hell, this club does my head in there.
I just feel like a few. Carl's doing right. I feel like messing with a winning formula was maybe it was he just wanted to try. We're in a relatively comfortable position. Let's try a few different things. Don't try. I think let's stick with and let me go back to, we briefly touched on it, and I'm keen to hear from the chat and the comments later or whatnot as well. Is it time now to cut the 2 ruck experiment, I guess, because I feel like Peter was getting the hit out. Peter was getting it to our midfielders. Then we were basically just either fumbly or giving up the second ball or whatnot. But I feel like TDK's almost like spooked by the presence of Pitnet. Like, he doesn't play the same. And I feel like, do we really need 2 rucks on Tim English? Like, does Tim English demand 2 rucks on him? Like credit to Tim English, he played okay, right? But I think my thought is, we've seen how undermanned they are in defence, and obviously with a few keys out, Norton out, Jones out, and then we're going to stretch them obviously with height up forward. But they killed us with the run, and automatically we're almost down a man, because when TDK taps it out, you have that extra midfielder, and he just goes in, he gets a clearance, he gets a handball out as well, he follows up that work. Not knocking TDK, but with that, you don't really get that with sorry, not TDK, TDK and Tito. What about those nicknames? With old mate Tito, with Pito. I felt like we don't have that, and does TDK's game suffer because of that?
Did you see Pito like dodge and weave in one play?
Yeah.
He was selling candy left, right, and center, Willy Wonka. But I don't know, man. I'm cut. I'm fucking cut. I'm cut for Cripps, man. Look, the 2 ruck thing.
That was disgusting.
We got hands on the ball first a lot of the time. We just couldn't clear it. And when we did, it was just a rubbish exit. But they pressured us so much that our first touch was trash. and then we turn it over. We actually got first hands on the ball quite a few times. I felt.
Yeah.
We just couldn't do anything.
It almost felt like the Dogs at stoppages and at clearances were just waiting for us to get it, and then they were pouncing.
Same thing Geelong did. Amal, you pointed this out. The first time we played Geelong, they did that to us as well. You pointed that out. And I never really noticed it until this game.
Did Pitternet play the first game against Geelong?
Yeah.
Yep.
Don't play Pitternet again. There's the answer.
Is he, in case of emergency, break glass? Well, I feel like that's what it is with Cotters now. Like, obviously, just like leave him, bring Hewitt back in. Don't mess with the winning formula that we had. But yes, going back to Cripps, I really do feel for him, and I feel like he needs. I think every single player that played.
Thank you, Andy.
Whenever opposition was extra, yeah,
that's bro. That comment right there sums it up. That's mate. I wish I could donate to you, bro. That is a brilliant comment, because that's what killed us last year when we were doing real bad, and that's what was hurting us this year. Freo did that really well against us. You block off the midfield, you plug it up, and we're done. We
don't know what to do.
Yeah, it seems so simple, right? To us, we're outsiders. We're just idiots watching the game from afar. There has to be some science behind it, though, because like it happens every time, and every time it happens, we buckle. And we're speaking about game plan and all that. I feel like we've maybe because our game plan was so brutal, we've kind of overcorrected, and now we've gone really uncontested. So we smashed them in uncontested ball. I don't know if that was by design by the Doggies or by us, but is that us trying to manage injury better because our game plan is so brutal? So have we maybe decided, you know what? There's still a long way to go. We've cemented a spot in finals, pretty much. Not now, but like, do you know what I mean? We're pretty confident that we're going to play finals. Do you think maybe the coaches and whoever dictates what we do is thinking preservation for a big run of our contested game in the back end of the season? Even though we kind of are in the back end of the season.
We need it, but we need to win. We can't afford another loss.
Exactly. We're not in a position.
Brisbane are not letting off. They're now fourth. They're in the top. Brisbane's in the freaking top 4.
Yep.
What the heck? Geelong.
I think we can be out of the top 8. Realistically, 2 games we can be out of the 8, can't we?
Correct.
Yeah, 2.
Correct.
2.
I mean, Port has Richmond. They should win, right? Melbourne got a tough game against Fremantle. GWS are playing Gold Coast. Essendon's playing Adelaide. Fremantle with Melbourne. Brisbane Lions against Sydney. There's games there that can be won, and if surely we're not going to lose to North. But if we do, teams can jump us.
Hey.
Andy, wait before you go. I sent a comment on Facebook earlier. Some bloke goes, "We need to make a statement this week against North Melbourne."
Listen. God forbid, right? God forbid. The unthinkable happens and we lose to North. What happens?
Membership
because we
or nah,
never. But wow, I can't look. We're not going to lose. We're not going to lose, right? But I'm fucked up in the head, right? So like, imagine.
Don't put
it's gonna be mayhem.
Imagine the media pylon.
Oh, the pylon will be brutal.
I think honestly, after that game, I think every player that played with Cripps against the Doggies should owe Cripps a favour. I think just walk his dog, grab him a coffee, grab lunch. Everyone should owe him one favour, or look him in the eye and say sorry. Yeah, just one favour. Everyone owes him one favour after that performance they put up. Because the guy literally was putting it on his back and wanted to win, and everyone just
milestone, 200.
It was off. It was a really strange game from a lot of players. A strange game. Hey, welcome back, Jay.
This one as well. I watched our first crack on Fox Footy, and they actually mentioned that we're ranked fourth last for points against. That's horrendous.
Yeah.
Horrendous. That's a horrendous stat, and that's considering that we had 4 or 5 games there where we didn't concede over like 75 or 80 points or something. So it just shows when we lose big. We lose big. They score heavily against us. So
it's always coincidentally when Wiedering gets a corky. And don't forget he did miss a few games early in the year, but when he gets a corky, they just get a run on. I got scared. I think it was the first quarter when he was limping. I was like, not again. You can't have this.
The bloke limps once at least every game.
He does. I'm sure he does.
If you're an opponent,
Wiederings is limping.
You just know now.
Yeah. It was rough. I got some good videos though from where we were sitting. You guys want to see it?
Sure.
There's a couple of bring it over.
Is that a game ball?
Anyway, it goes on and goes on and goes on.
How about you show some highlights when we win?
So you're torturing people in the comments.
This guy showing highlights in the game we lost.
One thing I will say though, there's those drummers
With a highlight of the night.
with the highlight of the night. They're so loud. Hey, they're sick.
That is so...
Someone translate. I need translation.
He called you a beautiful man.
He called you an ugly
He
face.
said you're a beautiful man. Very good.
That was fucking great.
Anyway, let's get on to the votes.
Pass.
Pass the votes. 1 vote, 2 votes, 3 votes. For those watching along, let us know in the chat and we'll get it up on the screen. Georgie, I'll throw it to you first.
This was by far the hardest to get someone with 1 vote. my 2 and my 3 were straightforward. So I'm going to say, I'll say, like Mackay should have had my 1, but he completely went missing after the first half. Right, his first half was great, but then he had 1 kick after that. I'm going to be very controversial and give my 1 to Charlie. I'm going to be very controversial here, but like I said before, had some of the kicks. I understand he had a bad game in terms of 3 goals, 7. The guy had 10 marks. The guy had 10 shots at goal. He had his chances. He had his opportunities. Had a couple of them gone the other way, all of a sudden we're talking about this guy won us the game or had a massive game. So I'm going to give him my 1 purely because of, I don't know, it's hard how much he kept us in it, I guess. But it's and I'm very close to Petra's votes there, but I'm actually going to say that he had a decent game without. It's so hard to articulate this. I don't want to put the 7 behinds in contention, but he got a lot of the ball, 10 marks, 15 kicks, whatever he had. Could have won us the game. Persisted all day, although selfish at times. So I'm going to give him my 1. I know it's a bit controversial, but 1 for Charlie. I'm going to give my 2 to Weeders. He was going to break the intercept marks record at one stage, it looked like. He was just everywhere. I remember I think it was the first quarter, the second quarter. He was just grabbing everything. Yes, he had his brain fades, I think, at stoppages and whatnot, as he called out, Andy. Had a few really off moments, but I felt as though...
That's what I was laughing at.
It's hard to when the whole defense was looking really off. I felt like he stood up over the course of the game. So 2 to Eaters, 3 for Wetman. Where's the audio? Get it up. There it is. He looked like he was going to win it off his own boot. How good was the running goal when he demanded it off Charlie? Like he pretty much is running past Charlie, and Charlie handballs it out to him. I think it was Cripps' first goal of the day, the running one on the opposite side of the ground to us. He demanded it. He was running past, and he just like it's like similar to the GWS goal really, but the guy I think he got 6 coaches' votes as well. So he was recognised by both coaches. What a game! I think he'll probably poll 1 or 2 in that game as well. Wouldn't be surprised, to be honest. So 3 for Wetman. Very, very hard to do this one today. Very hard. Carl?
Very similar. My 1 goes to Blake Acres. Amal said earlier he was in the back line most of the game. His defensive work was good. It's just a shame it was in the back line, I guess. 2 to Wiedering. If Wiedering does not play, we get absolutely demolished by, I'm going to say, 10 goals. We get smashed. Intercept marks, running over, helping out teammates. He was there. What even needed he done it. And, free to Cripps, man. It's unfortunate that these dogs couldn't get it up for him, man. It's just sad, man. Bloke does everything for him, man. He is Carlton. He is Carlton. And, you come up against a team like the Doggies where you think, we should win and not win it was a bit, it was a bit sad, but, hoping it's 250th. But, Cripps for 3. Andy?
Yeah, the 1 is tough. For me, it's just tough because I can't give votes to Weeders because he got belted in the second half. I don't want to give votes to Charlie because 3-7, and I honestly it's tough. I'm going to give 1 to Walsh because of the third quarter he had. He had a really good third quarter that kept us in it, but it's the most undeserving 1 ever. I don't even know if we even rank it. 2 I'll give to Acres. Great game. But it's all about Cripper, man. He almost did it in the last quarter. We had to sit back and feel sorry for this bloke in his 200th game because he was just a beast in the last quarter, and just no one followed. No one could follow, I'll say. Yeah. So, Cripper is my 3. Wet man. Come on.
Yeah, it's not too similar. 1 to Akers, 2 to Weeders, and 3 to 3 to Cripper. 3 to Cripper.
Who?
Rough game to watch.
Sorry, I had to throw that in there.
It was a rough game, Amal. You know what's even more rough? The fucking prices. I bought chicken and chips. I get 2 little strips like this, but look at the size of me, man. They give me 2 little strips like this. Give me like a handful of chips. It's like 16, 17 bucks. Far out. Go to chicken machine in Glenroy. Get a whole chicken, chips, gravy, peas.
I was yesterday.
Where?
Hello.
Best. Yeah, man. Far
$16.
out.
You get 2 short. Get 2 shoulder man a drink at Meadow Heights, mate.
And some change.
And some change.
Some change, yeah.
Honestly, it's
tough
gotta,
it was a tough game, tough day.
You know what? There was one positive other than nothing this weekend. Was seeing Collingwood go down.
Mm,
Down.
it's always
They're
nice.
they're in a shit spot, which is beautiful to see. Their season is well and truly. They're out of the 8. They're not in the
Yeah,
8.
fucking
I think they're 12th, or 11th.
12.
12.
Yeah.
12.
well.
Nothing in their mouth.
102.
they're not going to make.
Honestly, as much as I hate them, I don't give a fuck, man.
Yeah, I was
just
going to say we're not going to make videos on it, but it's nice.
Yeah.
But spot on. It's like I'm done with being concerned about other teams. Like I've never have been concerned about other teams really, but we've been reliant on other teams on it. But I'm done with that. Like,
Yeah,
Mm.
that's the Collingwood special, being concerned about other people.
Mm.
Anyway,
indeed.
North this week. It's the last game of the round as well.
Mhm.
Yep.
Please win. Just like get back to winning ways, please. Like,
And do it well.
I'm scared to think what the repercussions would be if we genuinely lose. Like, why is it that we're coming up against North and all I'm thinking about is what's going to happen if we lose? When I should be thinking about, hey, we should be winning by about 40 to 50, maybe even 10 goals, and then think about Port Adelaide next week. I'm not thinking like that. I'm thinking
That's
what's
what I mean.
going to happen if we lose.
We've lost a little bit of
goals.
trust.
No, we're worried about North Melbourne. That's fucked.
Hey, you know who I'm worried about? Honestly, when we play North, Larky. Larky puts Weeders in his pocket every single game.
Yeah, Weeders struggles with luck.
And Weeders is carrying an injury at the moment. So
Not just that, Cam Zerha comes out and kicks 5 every. He comes out and plays his legacy game.
Yeah.
And they got
I
Shees.
love
And they
LDU,
got
man. I
LDU.
love watching LDU play. Just quietly,
he's a gun. Yeah,
he's an
a gun.
absolute star.
There's a bit of talent on that list, but we should still win by about 60 points. Let's be real, right?
Should.
No. We will. We're going to win 60 plus. We're going to smash them. We're gonna think, all right, hopefully that's a bit of form. We'll smash Port the week up. We're not losing another game for the year, boys. Straight out. 9 in a row. We're winning 9 in a row. I'm telling you, we're going on a run now.
But what's North's form been over the last
Good.
couple of weeks?
Yeah, they've been
Before
right.
before the Sydney game, they were actually
Yeah.
really good. I think it was between rounds 10 or 11 up to 16. They were topping stats in the AFL. I think AFL put up a post about it. They were top 2 or top 3 in a number of different stats. They were playing well. Stiff not to win a couple of games, but
They lost by 1 point to Collingwood. They lost by 3 points to Melbourne. They lost by 13 or 17 actually to Bulldogs. They beat the Suns, and then they absolutely got thumped by Sydney. Up in Sydney. Still, it's no walk in the park. I don't think it's going to be a walk in the park. I'm fucking nervous.
Stressful times.
we'll be
We'll
okay.
see.
We'll be okay. We'll be fine.
Yeah.
I'm just so
Look.
happy we won.
I want to hear that again.
To me-
Nah, it's the wrong one. He's saying that he's happy that we won. It's not that I'm just upset about.
We're second.
Yeah.
Let's consolidate it. We've got an opportunity now to change it up a little bit. I think at selection, I'm looking forward to Thursday night's selection table. I think still can't bring in Paddy Dow. Like, I miss those days, jeez. But no, there's gonna be a few changes.
You'd hope so.
And I think it'll answer a few questions, right? Like, I'm not saying there's going to be there's favourites or anything with Voss, but if there's a couple of players that aren't shuffled around, and I'm not putting the sole blame on your Cotters or your Hollands or whatnot, but I think there has to be some change into especially the midfield mix. So, going to see what he does with the forward line as well, knowing that Zach, obviously, if it's hamstring tightness and he misses this week or next week, and you've got Martin, Cunningham, and Motlop, he's not going to do all three, of course, but interested to see how he sort of works out, how the match work out, who they're going to bring in, and see it against it's the Kangas, right? So we're not going to be.
But we're going to fuck them. We're going to absolutely wreck them, man. Come on, man. Come on, boys. G up, boys.
We'll be fine.
We are going to absolutely obliterate these dogs.
Well,
We're worried about North. We're worried about fucking North Melbourne. We're the Carlton Football Club. Second on the ladder, boys. Charlie Curnow is going to kick 7-3 this week.
They're Kangaroos. We'll fuck these Kangaroos. Not in.
It's after 10. We're fucking Kangaroos. We bring the peanut butter. Jesus Christ.
We're a national treasure.
All right, it's bedtime. This is I think we delete the Doggies game, and report it to the authorities, and we move on. We move on to North Melbourne. That's it.
John Holden. Dude, kangaroos like peanut butter. I'll ask more, so I'll find out.
Peter V. Bluefinger, someone pass Andy the peanut butter.
Hey, I'm not wearing pants. I'm only wearing peanut butter.
Sunshine.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
All right. That's a wrap from the Monday.
Yes, please.
Until Thursday.
Until Thursday, it is sayonara.
Have a good night, everyone.
Sicky now.